2013, I've just finished college and I'm ready to start my next level of my career at York St John University to study music production. At the time, I had a really old, battered Acer laptop that I'd had since like 2008. It was really slow, it was full of bloatware and all this rubbish that I'd basically loaded in it for years, and I wanted to get myself a new device, a new daily driver to take with me to university, because I used to commute to university. Something that I can carry in my bag, something that's easy to use, new, fast, and has all the capabilities of everything I need to do. Note making, word processing, document creation, music as well, because obviously I was dabbling in music at the time. I essentially had two choices: a laptop or a tablet. Straight away I threw away the laptop idea because I realised that they do start getting slower quicker generally than probably like a tablet or, you know, something like that. So I opted for a tablet. Bear with me on this. So I got my student loan money, which was a couple thousand. Well, it was about 1,300. I remember you got it every so often. It was like every few months. It wasn't like once a month. I think it was like every 3 or 4 months. And I got things I needed like bag, study books, and, you know, paid some fees for like, you know, things I needed. But I had a bit of money left over, so I walked straight into York City Centre on my first day. Went into a Stormfront shop, which is essentially like a Apple reseller. At the time, I had two options: an iPad 4th generation and the iPad Mini 2 with Retina display. First of all, I thought the iPad 4, larger display, more room to kind of work, you know, more room to kind of like see what's on the screen, and if I've got like a lot of things going on. That was my initial kind of first like decision when choosing that tablet. But I was really intrigued by the iPad Mini, and I never got a chance to try one until I went into that shop, and I was blown away by how portable it was. I liked the idea that it had the A7 chip at the time, which was fairly fast. It had the Retina display. It basically had the same functionality of the 4, just in a smaller, more compact form factor. And I didn't choose it. I chose the iPad 4. Bear with me, getting to it. So I chose the 4, and the 4 basically lasted me for many years. So I obviously did university with it, and then just kind of used it for my own personal things outside of that, you know, music, video, you know, work at home. It did me well, but I always thought that the Mini might have been a better choice. So I didn't choose that device, went with the 4, and happy with it, no regrets. But I was always curious, like, what was it like to use? Was it actually like quite good having a smaller iPad? I basically was in a CEX shop 2 days ago. I was exchanging some games, some old games that I no longer play on PS3, and I had an old iPhone 5C in the drawer. Obviously you get nothing basically for stuff like that, but I basically got like about 38 quid, and I got that with store credit, so I took that in. And I've actually been wanting myself like a cheap tablet. Nothing new, like a new iPad Pro. So I see in the window of the CEX shop that I'm in, there's an iPad Mini, 2nd generation, white, 32GB Wi-Fi model. So I look at it and I go, well, I've got 38 quid store credit, I'm going to take it. And that's what I did. This cost £35. £35. I'm going to show you a closer look soon. It's a B grade, which to CEX is kind of like mid. You've got A for mint, B for like good, and then C for kind of like not the best. I'll be honest with you, I mean, you can probably see, and I'll show you some better shots. Not a mark on the device whatsoever. It's immaculate, and it actually has a screen protector. You can't really see because it's not the right lens at the minute. It's immaculate. I thought I'd give it a go. I had no idea about its compatibility. I had no idea about whether it's usable in 2024. I just went for it. I like to buy old tech. I like to try these things out, and usually I'll swap things over time after using them. But like this thing, before I get into it, it surprised me with what still works and how well it works. But what we'll do is I'll fire it up for you guys. We'll have a look around it. We'll see what works, what doesn't work, and essentially see what the iPad Mini 2 is like in 2024. Let's get on it. So here we are, guys and girls. iPad mini 2nd generation with Retina display. £35 from CEX, B grade, white, 32GB. And if I can get a better look for you guys, it's got the lightning connector. There's not a mark on the bottom at all. The rear, there's a light smudge on the Apple logo, but generally a very immaculate body on it. All the sides, there's no scuffs, there's no dents. The camera's not going to focus now, but it's basically tip-top condition. So I'll power it on for you guys. I was straight up. Your start times aren't going to be as quick as what like the newer models are, but as you can see, there we are. We're on. I'm just going to enter the password, and there we have it. It was fully restored when I got it. I've just set it up, and the battery is currently on 86%. Hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and we're going to dive straight in. So yeah, the App Store, everything's popping up. The App Store loads up, guys. Now, I can't say about getting games. I might try it in a second. What I will say is, it'll load basically everything there. But if you want the games and apps that you've had previously, all you need to do is go into Today, tap on your ID, go on to Purchased, My Purchases, and excuse me, any app that you've had in the past, you basically just press download, and what it will do is, I don't know if I can choose one that'll give me a, trying to think, because not all of these apps will work. Some of them will be up to a point where they are incompatible. I know, let's see, Pac-Man, so that's from 2009. Let's test this out. So I'll press that, and it might say, it might download straight away, it might not download at all, but it might also say you need to download a compatible version. It all depends on the apps, guys. I'll get onto the apps that I've got, and hopefully it will show you. So as you can see, that hasn't even prompted me for a version. It's just downloaded. Depending on the size of the app, obviously, it'll download much quicker if it's only small. But you've got to remember, this is 11-year-old device, so it's not going to have the quicker Wi-Fi speeds as opposed to the modern iPads. So we'll just wait for that, and then there we go. So if I press open, hopefully it runs. Again, this is all app dependent. Allow. Yeah, so that crashed, but we can probably try again and it might work. But that's one example, guys. Don't just take one app as an example. I'm not too fussed about that because there's other apps for me that basically work. So that's the App Store. Again, it's app dependent, so I could run through a million apps. 20 of them could work, 50 of them might not. It's all just depending on what you've purchased in the past and what you want to try out. But I'm going to show you what's working for me, just to keep it simple, so I'm not here like exploring basically every avenue. FaceTime works. I don't even have to demonstrate that to you. FaceTime will work, as will iMessage. I've got an iPad 1st gen in the drawer over there. The Messenger app works on that. I can assure you it will work on this, and it has been, because I've had some of my phone messages come through. What I will move on to is the news app. I don't know if all of you are news readers, but for me, I like to check out some of the technology magazines and articles. I'll just turn on location services. So here we are. The full news spreads are loading. You've got all the trending stories as well, which is good. Everything's loading in. Pictures are loading up. Obviously, it's not as quick and as sharp as what you'll get on the new phones or new tablets, but everything works. If I just tap on one of them, it'll load the full story up, no problem. See? Text loads fine. Graphics and pictures load perfectly fine, nice and clear. The news app works a treat, and I have been using it since I bought it. So you've still got news, guys. News works. Let's try stocks. Not sure if people actually use this because there's a lot of third-party apps that do the stock apps now. Let's go on Dow Jones. There you go. showing everything up to date, even related news articles too, which you can click on and they should, yep, loads up the article, perfect. It's very responsive. Obviously now and again you might get slight hiccups of speed. Obviously reminders and notes, obviously that's going to work, I don't need to demonstrate that. Now, one surprise of the day for me, guys, is Apple TV. It works perfectly fine. It brings up my library. These are just films I've bought over the course. Some of my kids' films on there, some of the films I bought like Top Gun Maverick, etc. They work, but even better, if I go and watch now, I have an Apple TV membership. Me and my partner like to watch some of the series on there. We're currently re-watching Silo. If I tap on Silo and turn it round that way, obviously guys it's internet dependent. Okay. Okay. She's going insane, but it works. This is a Apple TV series, a new one, and it's playing perfectly fine. There's no lag. There's no stuttering. The player controls are responsive. The volume's quite nice too. And it's loading quick. Now I do have gigabit internet in the corner, so that obviously will probably be helping my load times. But yeah, guys, I can watch Apple TV perfectly fine. So Apple TV works a treat, everyone. It's actually a surprise. I didn't realise that would actually work as well as it does, especially given the age of the device. So following on that, iTunes Store. Another surprise to me, because I was aware, or I thought, that this storefront was basically defunct and they'd stopped it now. Isn't the case. I'm looking here at a full iTunes Store with purchasable music, and even better, if I click on one song, brings up the artists and the album, obviously dependent on the album. If I tap one of the tracks, I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. That was a short clip. You can play previews. I'm not going to purchase one because I just don't want to, but I can assure you that if you press purchase, it will easily download it for you and you can enjoy it. Again, films. I'm not actually sure what films does. Yep, it's exactly the same. It's very similar to Apple TV. It's got the same spread of layout. So I think if I click like Abigail, I can rent and buy just like I do in the Apple TV app. But I think it's just still named the iTunes Store. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't realise the store was still working. I thought the iTunes Store as we know it had stopped. But it seems like it isn't. It seems to me that I can still browse and buy and purchase on the traditional storefront. We looked at App Store, obviously that's fine. iBooks, I've never used, I'll be honest with you. I have used Audible in the past for like audiobooks. Swipe. Swipe again. Swipe again. Swipe again. So the response is fine. The text looks gorgeous as well on this. I can go back. It's nice and sharp. It's nice and clear. The books are working fine, guys. This is just a sample. It's not something I bought, but you can buy it and it will work. So it's just a little taster of the books shop. Photo booth, it does work. I can just test that now. It'll probably just show the ceiling. If I hold my hand, yep, perfectly fine. And if I tap on one of them, perfectly fine. No lag. So these are the apps that I've basically re-downloaded and purchased separately for the iPad. So every app you're looking at here, apart from MiniGo actually, it's run by Game Club, and Game Club servers don't work. So MiniGo doesn't work only because the server that runs it needs you to log in. I found that out today. So aside from that, everything on this page is fine. Facebook works. There you go. It says I've been looking at cameras, Nissans and houses apparently. But it works fine. Works perfectly fine. It loads in everything. So without showing too much, Facebook works. We've got Angry Birds Classic. that works as well. Candy Crush Saga, that works as well. And Clumsy Ninja. I'll show you this app because it's quite a graphically intense app because it has a lot of good physics for an iPad of this age. Any of you remember Clumsy Ninja? It was the app that was demonstrated around the time when they were like showcasing the 64-bit architecture. So it's loaded in. No lag, nice and smooth animations. Music's playing, and if I grab the ninja guy, look, responsive. Sorry, dude. No lag. Whee. Sorry, dude. That's Clumsy Ninja. Working an absolute treat. Just re-downloaded from the purchase section. GarageBand. Again, this is a different version to what I had. The first one I had was a lot more stripped back, but it still had some of the features on that like kind of exist now. It loads in perfectly fine. So here we are, we're on the smart guitar. The experience of GarageBand, as you know and love on the current tablets, is fully working, guys, on a 11-year-old iPad mini 2. Albeit not as quick, but it loads. And it sounds phenomenal. It's not the greatest speaker, but it's decent just for some jamming around. It's not bad, and it's got a headphone jack. So if you want to plug in your wired headphones, it has. And I'm yet to test my AirPod Pros on this, but what I'll do is I'll put a little comment post on the community board of my page, just showing you if it's paired, because I don't know where my AirPods are, so I can't test it right now. Synthesizer, which was my favourite one back in the day. I used to love playing on the piano. Just a little melody I made there. It's working so good, guys. Honestly, I really did expect this to just be like a orchestra of crashes and freezing and everything included with that, but no, it works a treat, and I'm so happy that I have such a capable device for £35 with a Retina display. You know, battery level, I can see it going down a lot quicker than the newer ones, but you know, if I really did want to keep this thing going, I could easily get this battery replaced. I've saved these last two because these are the ones that primarily people are using. And whenever anyone's wanting to buy a tablet, they want to know that Netflix and YouTube basically work. If I go on YouTube, let's go on subscriptions. Now, there's Valox, just a guy that I like to watch. I tap on one of his videos.
Help me. Oh, you look burnt. Oh my god, Kentucky Fried Chica. Oh my god.
Turn him round.
I'm so sorry.
It's playing, guys. Really quick.
What's everybody? My name is Bob.
I can do the double tap. Do it quite quick.
Who knows?
And it's loading. You can see, look, it's buffering at reasonable speed. Oh, it was. So that's YouTube working well. And finally, the one that everyone wants to check, Netflix. So I'm going to show you this right now. So there we are. Let's just go with Top Gun. It's on the main page. Don't want to scratch the back. And there you have it. Tap it, skip it. Quite a substantial amount. 51 minutes in.
Aircraft 1 performs a split S. That's the last thing you should do.
And there you go.
The mate's right on your tail.
Netflix fully works. So, that is the iPad mini 2 Retina display in 2024. Let's talk about it. I think this is the best bargain I've had for a long time. for £35. If you've got a CEX nearby and you're after something like this, you're on a tight budget, you want to watch videos, you want to do some light music, some light word processing, or basically some of the things I've shown you. If you've got a 32 gigabyte Wi-Fi or 16 gigabyte or basically any iPad 2 in stock, for what I want to do, it ticks all the boxes. Given that people are going out and spending hundreds of pounds on the new ones, what exactly is wrong with that? If that's all you want to do, similar to what you just seen, consume Netflix, YouTube, play some old classic games, you know, like the main games like Angry Birds, Candy Crush. I've not tried Minecraft. I might even give that a try. I'll see how it is. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna use it for my music. I'm gonna use it in my old retro game room for like streaming to my speakers and etc. That's the iPad Mini 2, guys. Thank you for watching. Might have some more tech that I might get hold of at some point, and I'll do a little video about it and we'll talk about it, see what works, etc. I love doing these videos. I love like experiencing things like tech that I'd never had but wish I did, or tech I've actually had but like wanted to have a go again and kind of relive those days. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. So it's been good, it's been real. Enjoy your evening, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.